Afternoon, everyone. Just waiting for the timings to come up. They ain't gone live yet, it seems. Hey, Quicker. Hey, James, how's it going? Hey, Colour. Oh. Or my connection might be unstable. I don't think so. Honestly, I swear it takes longer and longer for this to kind of go live with the timing. Timing used to start so early. Now it doesn't. Let me just make sure I can watch like the replay and stuff. No, that's not the right thing I wanted to watch. Yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good, thanks. Yeah, hope you are too. Okay, so it's definitely not my connection. It's just the fact of a multi-viewer is playing up. Oh, there we go. It's live now. Honestly, it used to go live so early, and now it doesn't. All right, give me a sec. Right, we can change setting. There we go. There we go, nice and large. Oh, shit, hang on. There we go. I don't know why that's showing at the bottom. Let me alter this, hang on. Greetings! So if we move that down a touch. There we go. Let's just move that up. Bosh! There we go, guys. There we go. Oh, I always like to do that beforehand, but multi-viewer doesn't kind of do that for me now. How did my league race go? It kind of was going really well, James. Really well. I kind of didn't get my best qualifying lap in. So I started 11th. It was very tight, like the spread of the field. And then I just got a bit slow off the start, really, to start the race. I think I made up a couple of positions. I think I was like 9th after the first few laps. However, I was struggling to warm up the tyres with the high fuel. And then I just got into a groove. I was fastest man on circuit, setting purple lap after purple lap. And then I had the strangest thing happen in Stowe Corner. Like, the curb on the left-hand side on the entry to Stowe Corner. I don't know. Something just sent the car into a spin. It was the most bizarre thing. And I've raced thousands of laps at Silverstone. Thousands. And I ended up in the wall. Had to tow the car. Thankfully, there's a fast repair to use. But yeah, I was a lap down and I was last of the runners. Real shame, because I had genuine pace and I was really enjoying it as well. I was really enjoying it. And the frustrating thing is someone who pitted just in front of me. So I caught up to him and then he pitted for the mandatory pit stop. And he ended up finishing, who I was quicker than, ended up finishing third. Like, that's potentially what I could have had a podium yesterday. So, yeah, not great at my strongest track as well. Which is disappointing. But anywho, guys, who's ready for the sprint shootout? It seems to be that it's going to be a drier session. I'm sure we'll get a weather report very soon on Multiviewer. So yes, not like it was yesterday, that's for sure, in regards to the weather that they had. So we should get a bit more of a relative pace, a relative idea on pace when it comes to Q3 or the last shootout, shall we say, shootout 3. So yeah, 10 minute qualifying sessions, or 12-minute qualifying sessions. I think the last one is 10 minutes, and yeah, they call them shootouts. So yeah, things happen. It's just frustrating, James, because Suzuka was kind of a similar thing. Binned it kind of just by touching the white line. I mean, it's fine margins, but it's frustrating because I'm just kind of throwing away results. And I had an official race earlier. I was on for a good 4 points and just everything in general. And yeah, some things kind of happened. So I'll be looking to put that into a video as well. Can I believe Aston Martin qualified third and fourth? I know, right? Just a bit. I mean, they genuinely seem to have some pace here this weekend. They seem to have unlocked something in the car. I still think they're slower than the Red Bulls, the McLarens. I still think they're slower than McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari. Obviously, we know the Red Bull's quick, but I still put them behind those. They benefited from going out early yesterday with those changing conditions. I still don't know why McLaren waited. Like, they should have sent those cars out straight away. Once again, they've dropped the ball in qualifying and ended up well out of position. Same as Mercedes, really, as well. Mercedes waited a bit too long. Bit like Kevin Magnussen last year. Kinda. Not as lucky as Magnussen, because Aston Martin does have... They have shown they've got more pace. And we know they're more like the Aston Martin from the start of the year than we've seen in most recent times. So yeah, we'll see if they're able to perform similarly as well today. Be interested to see if any teams are able to improve on yesterday as well. The track is a lot hotter. It is around 45.7 degrees. It is steadily increasing. So that will play a factor today as well. Some cars who maybe struggled in the cooler conditions yesterday, it was sub 40. I think by the time it got to Q3, it was 35 degrees. And as well as that, both Max and Leclerc said that the track or the winds just changed direction in that last qualifying session, or while they was out on circuit. So that's obviously contributed to a few of the drivers maybe not performing as they should have done. Of course, even then, it was a very unique session with the rain coming in as quickly as it did, and the wind changing, and like the track cooling very quickly. So, but Max, as always, as he has done, just didn't wait around, got out there, was able to switch his tyres on the best out of everyone, and yeah, got the kind of most steady lap in that he could, and that was enough. Hey, Mork, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, Matt Leg was really strong, but got taken out race 1 and 3. Completely not my fault every time. Race 2 was decent at least. Yeah, at least. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a shame that the AOR League is the same night as, obviously, they run the map races. I'd like to participate in them. I'm also not as keen on the Formula 3.5 as I am on the Super Formula, so. Hey, Spud, good to see you, buddy. Yep, so we are here for the sprint shootout today, and then we'll be here for the race later on. It is live at... well, I'll be going live half an hour before the race, or at least 15 minutes before, probably. That is at 6:30, and then, yeah, we have the race tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I believe. So a bit earlier, the race is tomorrow. But yeah, we are only just over 2 minutes until the qualifying gets underway, guys. So not long to go at all. Yeah, I think they'll go for the Super Formula next once the season finishes, James. I think they will. I think everyone, obviously I'm in the group chats with them all, with the Miss Apex boys, and everyone's kind of in agreement that it's a shame the Super Formula came out just like 2 weeks after, I think it was announced that it was committed to the 3.5, or a week after. So just came out a little bit too late, unfortunately. But I think next year, yeah, it'll be going to the Super Formula, because I think a lot of the lads as well. Like I see a few of the guys who race in the Missed Apex League. I see them in like official sessions and stuff. So right. So who do we think is going to get pole today? By the way, what's the United score? 0-0. Lol, Man United. Lol. Norris will get pole. Yeah, I genuinely think as long as they get their strategy right in regards to when they send him out, I think he could get a pole. I really think he can. I mean, Piastri, I think both McLarens. Piastri did look strong as well yesterday. He did look very quick on new tyres. So I think either of the McLarens, I'm intrigued to see what the Mercedes can do today. It wasn't their overall, I mean, they seem to be a little bit, I'd still be surprised after seeing yesterday, unfortunately, to see Hamilton or Russell on pole. It is very tight up there, but I think they're just, if Lewis can hook up, to be honest, if Lewis can hook up the first sector, he's got an opportunity at pole. His first sector was where he was very weak yesterday. He was about 2 to 3 tenths slower than pretty much everyone else who was above him. He just needs to hook up that first sector, that first corner. It's a tough one. It is a tough one because so much, all the time is pretty much gained and lost in that first corner. If you go too deep, then obviously you're out of shape for the second corner and then the third. So it's all about the entry into T1. But we have a green flag, guys. We have a green flag. So session is underway, but no one is yet to wait at the end of the pit lane and come out. So everyone's just waiting nice and patiently in the pits. Only 12 minutes this first sprint shootout 1 session is. So here we go. Underway, guys. Underway. But what did you guys think of the penalties as well for George Russell for impeding in the pit lane? We also had 2 Alpines as well, Gasly and Ocon. Yeah. What did you think of that? Nice to see them actually implement penalties for it. Bit convenient that now Max Verstappen isn't involved. They dished out the penalties though. So, don't know about that. Make of that what you will. So here we go. The 2 Red Bulls going out first. Wanting to set that lap. Let's see. If George got a penalty, then Max should have got on. Well, he didn't get a penalty for last week. He got a penalty for this week. Max didn't impede anyone in the pit lane this week. So, if anything, Max was one of the ones who got held up and was impeded. So, yeah. I think the penalties are fair. Yeah, I don't disagree, Spud. I think they are fair. I think they should have been penalised every other time they've done it as well. In Mexico and Verstappen in Singapore. Even the FIA came out and said Max should have been penalised for impeding in Singapore. Yet when it came to Mexico, they just completely... When he did it again, they was like, no. Like, it's better for them to impede in the pit lane than it is to impede in Sector 3. It's like, when has that ever been a rule? When is that ever... You're just making things up on the spot now. Which makes people suspicious that you're not penalising a certain driver whenever he's involved. And then it comes to the next track, where yes, they have identified the rule, but and now they hold hold the cars. They hold the people who have done it. I don't know. It's just a lack of inconsistency, and it seems to be, it could be purely coincidental, but whenever one particular driver is involved, there's no penalties dished out, and yet when he's not involved, those individuals get penalties. Like, it's just, yeah. Of course, people are going to start throwing around conspiracies. So, exactly, Carla. Exactly. It just makes them look like, whether it's intentional or not, is it hiding in plain sight? Like, there is actually a massive favouritism to Red Bull and to Max. I'm sure there are individuals who do favour certain drivers. Like, no one can be completely impartial. But yeah. Anywho, guys, let's get on to this shootout one. So Max is the first man out there, an 18.6. So if you'll keep an eye on the interval times, guys, and the sector times from yesterday, really, to be honest, a good... Obviously, they're on the medium tyres at the moment. So on the soft tyres, they were doing an 18.3 roundabout there, was the fastest first sector yesterday. Fastest middle sector was around a low 35. And then the last sector was a low 16. So they're the times you're kind of keeping out for in regards to... when they're on the soft tyre. Of course, the medium tyre is what they use first in the sprint shootout. I don't think that's by... Is that a rule, guys? I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to learn this sprint shootout nonsense. And it is nonsense, if you ask me. Do they have to use the medium? Or is that by choice they've used the medium because of tyre allocation? I don't know. Sainz fastest in the first sector. Let's keep an eye out on Sainz. Is he purple in the second as well? He is indeed. So looks like Sainz is going to be jumping to the top of the timing sheets if he gets a good exit out of turn 12. Hamilton's gone fastest in the middle sector, pipping it from Sainz. So a good start to this session from Ferrari, and it looks like will be from the Mercedes of Hamilton. Yeah, into P2. Let's see what George can do. George jumps up to 4th. And Sainz got a mega last sector, by the way. He was 2 tenths faster than Hamilton. And pretty much George Russell there. So, mega exit out of turn 12. Because once you get turn 12 right, guys, it's full throttle all the way from there round to the first corner. They must use medium in S1 and S2, but must use softs in S3. Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. I thought it was maybe like a decision to save tyres. The whole... Yeah, I mean, how many people are going to get confused that, like it was in America, how many people are going to get confused that whoever gets polled today isn't on pole tomorrow? Like, you know, like, it's just... Sad it is its own thing. It's... I still much prefer just the older formats. But hey ho, it's what we're kind of dealt with, aren't we? Right, let's see how the McLarens can do. So an 18.7 for Norris and an 18.8 for Piastri there. A bit slower than that of Carlos Sainz in the first sector, but pretty much on pace of the top 5. So let's see how they get on. Norris looks like he's probably going to catch a bit of traffic as Perez is going for another lap as well. How is Perez getting on? He's very slow in the middle sector, so he's definitely been held up by traffic. But let's see if Norris will get held up by these here as they're starting their lap. I don't think so. He's going to get a nice time here. Piastri at 112.3, so he was very, very slow in the middle sector, Piastri. So, yeah, maybe held up by traffic as well. So here goes Norris. Norris did a 36.6 in the middle sector, quicker than his teammates. How quick, though, is he? And he jumps up to 5th, a 112.0. So at the moment, only Sainz, Hamilton and Verstappen are in the sub-112 category. Hulkenberg jumps in there into P7. How about Magnussen? P5. Woo, those horses. Those horses. Let's see if they can actually make it through to the third sprint shootout today. Ricciardo jumps in there for 112.1. Once again, look how tight it is at the top there. P15 well, P13 pretty much. There's still, apart from Logan Sargent, exclude Logan, there's less than 1 second or less than 8 tenths separating 18th to 1st. Bottas is the only driver not to set a time yet, so here he comes across the line. So there we go. 19 drivers separated by less than 1 second. Logan Sargent is the outlier there, being over a second. But look how tight that is between like the top 10 is 4 tenths. The top 7, Leclerc, Norris, Magnussen, Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton, Sainz, are separated by 3 tenths. So close. So close. Hey, Jordan. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Hey, John. Surface at Interlagos looks not much better than DC streets. You can't see the times today. They look small, do they? Can I not zoom in? Maybe that's this. Let me do that. I'll have to jig things about a little bit. How's that, guys? Is that a bit better? No, it's just chat box. I need to make smaller. Ah, no, stop it. Hang on. Oh no, what am I doing? I meant to lock it. Sorry. Chat box. That's what I wanted to change. There we go. And then that allows me to make this bigger. That's okay, no worries. I want you guys to be able to see obviously the timings, because that's kind of the interesting part, isn't it? It's not just seeing the track map. You want to be able to see what sector times they're doing, the intervals, etc. So there we go. Sorted, guys. Sorted. And then that can go. There we go. All good. All good. It's alright. I know Sam's sense of humour. Magnussen saying he's got something stuck in his front left wheel deflector. So, who's at risk at the moment then? We only have 1.5 minutes left. So we have Sargent, Tsunoda, Albon, Zhou, Stroll struggling on those medium tyres to get a lap in. Piastri is at risk as well. Ocon down there. It's very, very tight. So these last laps coming in could be an issue. I mean, Piastri, Alonso's coming in fast round turn 12. Ocon's going to have to let him by, and that's really going to hurt Ocon's prep for this lap. And how about Hamilton there? I think Hamilton was prepping for a lap as well when he came round to Ocon. Maybe Ocon might get held there for impeding. Who knows? Who knows? It seemed to be a bit of a shit show there at the end. Verstappen's also backed out of his lap as well due to... Oh no, Verstappen's in the pit lane. Norris is fastest through this first sector at the moment. He's getting a sneaky toe from Russell, so I think Norris is going to improve here. And there's a yellow flag. Ocon is slow. Ocon is slow. Is that due to a mechanical issue? Is that why he was going slow earlier? Or has he had a spin? But Norris there jumps up to 11.8 and there's a red flag. So Ocon's binned it, I think. Ocon's either binned this or he stopped on circuit. I'm waiting for the TV coverage to catch up, but Ocon there at the end of turn 3, maybe he spun it or maybe he's just had to pull over. It's not really, it's a very difficult place to, there's all barriers there. So if he stopped on the inside, it is a very dangerous place for the car to be stopped. And yeah, it would mean that it's understandable why there is a red flag. But if that is the case, then there is no time to set a lap. And that means we are going to lose Ocon, Stroll, Zhou, and the 2 Williams of Albon and Sargent. And there we have confirmation that SQ1 will not be resumed. So we've lost one of the Aston Martins, a high for Stroll yesterday, And hello today. We're going to get a grumpy stroll in the interviews afterwards, aren't we? That is for sure. Why is my TV coverage so far behind, honestly? Just trying to see exactly where Ocon is. Yellow flag, sector 1. They're only just showing it now. Oh, he's binned it. Yeah, Ocon's binned it. Oof. Yeah, he's definitely binned it. Can't wait for the one-word responses, yeah. He wasn't even that happy yesterday in the interviews, was he? So yeah, Ocon's binned it out of turn 2. Must have... He's probably got on the curb and lost it. Oh, Fernando Alonso had a puncture on the front left as well. Wow, the plank is just scraping and shoving sparks everywhere. So Alonso might have some damage if he's run over that debris. Well, it looks like he's definitely run over the debris because he got a puncture to the front left. But waiting to see the replay to see how he binned it. Oh, apparently Haas have filed a right for review of track limits at... had a right of review for track limits at Circuit of the Americas. So I don't know why that was. Was that because they didn't get through a qualifying session, maybe? Don't know. Oh yeah, it's definitely a driver error, Infinite. Yeah, definitely. You don't lose it there unless you've got up on the curb or some sort. I mean, he's lost his right rear. The right rear is completely off the rim. Here we go. Here's the replay. Just about to see it. Oh, no. They made contact. Ocon and Alonso made contact through turn 3. Oh, no. That's Alonso's literally turned into him. Alonso has literally... Oh, no. Oh, no. No, so... Oh, no. Take it back. Take it back. I mean, he's blaming Fernando. Fernando was basically... I'll try and explain this to you. Yeah. So basically, Alonso was going slow through turn 3. He was on the right-hand side, trying to give him room. However, Ocon has, on the inside here, has got up on the curb and had a snap of oversteer. He's had to save it, and he's hit Alonso. Now, Ocon's blaming Alonso because Ocon will say he moved further over to the left because of where Alonso was. I do have to sympathise with Ocon a little bit because I do think Fernando wasn't as far over as he could be. I do think he was hugging a bit more of the middle of the track than he should have been. Ultimately, Ocon's hit him, so it is a driver error from Ocon. However, he should be further over. There's more that Alonso could do there. It's interesting how the stewards are going to see it. It's interesting how they're going to see it. I can see why he's blamed him though, James. I can see it. Because you have to remember, these cars, even though they're letting them past, on TV they look like they're going at a crawl. But they're still going 50, 60 miles an hour. And they're leaving, they're giving off a bit of dirty air. Now, I'm not saying that affected Ocon there, but he's definitely in his peripheral vision. And he's definitely got an eye on Alonso being where he is, compared to just focusing on the apex. And that's why he's got up. That's why he will say, I got up on the curb more than I would have done because of where Alonso was in the track. He had more room to the right. Alonso will say, I left him plenty of room. So, yeah. We'll see. It's interesting to see what the stewards come up with that. So, yeah. I would say if you're going to proportion blame, Definitely more on Ocon. I'd say 70-30 on Ocon. I would say. Looks like one of those situations both drivers could have done more to avoid, but ultimately it's on Ocon to make the pass safely. Yes, it is. Yeah, I would say it's 70-30. Yeah. The only reason he's hit that's why Alonso got the damage. The damage was through contact, not through debris. "100% on Ocon, Connor." Come on, you've had issues with blue flags as well. If that was Interlagos, if that was the strength of field race last night, and you did that, you'd be fuming. You'd be effing and blinding at that blue flag. I'm just saying I can see it from Ocon's perspective. However, yes, it is a driver error. He got up on the curb and he ultimately hit Alonso. However, I can see it from his perspective that Alonso, from the onboard camera, didn't look as far over to the right-hand side as he could have been. So, Ocon's over. I mean, he's overcompensated. Ultimately, he's definitely overcompensated. There was enough room. Exactly. I know you would be in that Brummie accent. I mean, Alonso even turns in left. He does turn in left. So Alonso should have been hugging the right a lot more. I mean, I'm not saying that Ocon still wouldn't have made contact with Alonso if he didn't turn slightly left, but he does turn his steering wheel left. So we need to see an overhead shot. We need that far chase camera angle so that we can see the overhead shot at the point of contact. So yeah, no, I don't particularly disagree that Ocon's trajectory, he still would have hit Alonso. That's what I'm saying. We need to see I'd like to see a bird's eye view of it, like a far chase camera angle, so that we can see exactly what happens. But we can, at the moment, we've only got the onboards. So if you can see that trajectory, then I mean, he's definitely overcompensated for it. There's no need for him to be up on the curb. But I'm intrigued to see what the stewards view. Obviously, they've got all the data. They've got they should have all the camera views. So I hate open quali, Connor, because of how chaotic it is. Hate it. Maximum delta investigations. What is that in this context? They have to... I don't know, actually. Involving cars, Russell, Norris, Piastri will be investigated after session. Failing to follow race director's instructions. Maximum delta time. I don't know. I mean, we've seen that pop up all season, and it's never penalised. So I don't even know why it's even mentioned by the stewards. It's just like a formality, but they have to do it. So I don't know. I mean, it won't be penalised. Delta time basically means that they have to be at a certain delta. Maybe when the yellow flag came out or when the red flag came out, probably. They were going too quickly. Almost like a virtual safety car, I imagine. So some people were going too slow or on an out lap or cool down lap. I don't think it's normally that. That's normally maximum lap time is what they call it, or minimum lap time. Maximum delta time indicates that they have to achieve a delta when they're like under a safety car or a virtual safety car. So I think when the red flag comes out, they can only go a certain pace to stop obviously incidents like Jules Bianchi and stuff in the past where they go like they absolutely belt it round. I think that's it. Tsunoda has set his time just in the last seconds before the red flag and got through to Q2. Did he? Ooh, cheeky boy. Went there. What's the controversy about the red flag? Don't think there is any real controversy. Most English streamers don't like Nando and Max. They talk negatively, even if others say otherwise. I mean, I'm personally, if you've been following this channel for a long time, Angie, I'm not Max's biggest fan. I just don't think he's very likable. I don't like the way that he's driven in the past. I still respect him as a driver because his talents and how quick he is. You can't deny, obviously, the last 2 years have been very, very impressive. Alonso, I think Alonso's really great. I think he has some. I think he's quite funny. I think he has some traits which could be quite toxic if you was working with him, but we're not. I was kind of too young to kind of really understand. I say I was too young. How old was I when he won? I wasn't like as into F1 at the time when he was alongside Lewis to kind of read all the details of what was occurring at the time. I think that's why a lot of English people don't like him, is because of that affiliation alongside Lewis and kind of the toxic relationship they had in 2007, I think it was. So why red flag? Ocon hit Alonso and ended up in the barrier at T3. So we have the session won't be restarted. We have a red flag to ensure Ocon's car could be removed, all the debris, and then just make sure those barriers are okay. It's only Tech Pro, so it should be. Exactly, Connor. Yeah, that's what I always try and do. I always try and see the best in people. Always. But you don't have to like everyone that you come across in life or on TV and that. Like, I'm also only giving my opinion on what I see of Max, of what I've seen of Max. So I've seen Max obviously in F1 and how he kind of, I don't know. I just don't like what I've seen. However, when I watch him, when I've seen him like the streamer Max for like Team Redline and that, he seems like a nice enough dude. So lots of people who've worked with him have said he's really nice. So yeah, I mean it's kind of the age we live in, isn't it? You can only form opinions on kind of the information that you have. And to ask people to not have an opinion on someone is then, I don't know, you're just not a human being. So late to the party. Yes, anyone who's just joining, the sprint shootout was ended only just a little bit early by 30 seconds because Ocon basically got distracted by Alonso, letting him by in turn 3. Now, there is a bit of discussion in regards to, did Alonso leave enough room? Probably. Ocon definitely seemed to overcompensate for seeing Alonso through turn 3. And he got up on the curb on the inside of turn 3, had a snap of oversteer and hit Alonso. Now, Alonso arguably should have left more room, I think. However, he did leave enough room for Ocon to go by. So it's interesting to see what the FIA stewards, what they deem who's at fault there. I reckon they'll probably just say it's a racing incident. Like to see an overhead shot. We've only seen 2 on balls, which kind of don't show the whole picture. And yes, because of Ocon's crash, we currently got a red flag just while they remove the car, clear the debris, and make sure the barriers are okay. We haven't got a time yet of when that session will restart. Just says it was delayed. Yes, Ocon clearly hasn't watched my streams because he would know that my relationship with curbs. I tell you what, when I get some merch, I've got to have something like those damn curbs or something on a t-shirt, because yeah. Thinks that people think of Max and Red Bull PR as one, where Max isn't just a PR machine. No. I mean, there's some things that Max comes out and says, and I'm like, that's funny, and he's, I agree, like with his sarcasm, particularly when it comes to the sprints and that. But I don't know. I feel like it's probably more of like you're a product of your environment. Like, you know how some people react differently when they're around certain people. Like you know someone, they're completely different with you. Yet they're completely, you don't recognize that person when they're like with their other friends. Like they have a different group of friends, and you're like, what are you doing? Like you're not. That's not the person I know. I feel like that's kind of a little bit with Max. I feel like when he's in that F1 bubble, when he's surrounded by Christian Horner, Helmut Marko, his dad's, like all of this high pressured environment. I think that's the Max I don't like. And obviously snappy on the radio and stuff like that. Yet when you see him in a bit more of a relaxed atmosphere, he's round like his friends on sim racing, he seems like a super chill guy. So, stuffy merch when? I need some. In all honesty, James, probably in the new year. Probably in the new year. As I said, I've got some important news to announce to you. Either the end of this month or start of next month. Everything is set in stone now. It's just getting kind of everything organised. And then part of that is some assistance with merch. I'm not very creative when it comes to artwork and stuff, so I need some help there. So yeah, there'll be kind of like some tops, hoodies. I love my hoodies, so I'll probably see some hoodies come out and stuff. So when will the race start, Puan? The race doesn't start till this evening at 6:30 UK time. The session for qualifying, we are awaiting a restart time. We haven't got one yet. I imagine we'll get an update at past, which is just under 2 minutes. So both alphas through. Can't wait to see if Yuki will rage or smile. Yeah, much better performance from Danny Rick. I mean, Danny Rick did say yesterday in interviews that they both had more performance in the car to get out of Q1. It was poor from both of them, to be honest. I think they both made driver errors. Daniel Ricciardo definitely went very deep into turn 1, which puts you on the back foot for the rest of the lap. So, yeah, I think this is a bit more. Them both getting into Q2 is more relevant of what the alphas have for this weekend. So. I think that's definitely a contributing factor, B, and that's what I don't like, and I think that's what a lot of people don't like. Whereas people do say, if you get to know the man, he's really nice. I've never met the man, probably won't ever will, and I'm who knows if he knows about my opinions or whatever. I don't know. I've done videos on kind of like what he's done in the past in sim racing and stuff. Some of it I've agreed with, some of it I haven't. But yeah, people are different than what necessarily the media portrays, or if they're in a different environment. So that's true, James. That's true. Yeah, I had an incident earlier on, which someone wasn't too happy about. And it was my mistake in the end. I didn't say sorry at the time because I wanted to wait and look back on the replay to see if I was actually at fault. I thought I was at the time, but I just before I said anything, I wanted to wait till the end. I know, especially when you're racing, sometimes it's best just to hold your tongue until you are able to review stuff back. And he wasn't happy that I waited until the end of the race to review it. And yeah. It is what it is. Oh, right. Still no update on when this session's going to be restarted. Sky are now actually showing people play football next to the track rather than actually showing us how the repairs are going on. Finnish racetrack is very good for racing. Yeah, I think the race later on and the race tomorrow are going to be very intriguing races. Interlagos has always thrown up great races for F1. It should be the finale. It should be the finale. We've never had a bad race at Interlagos when it's been the last race of the season. Never. Whereas Abu Dhabi, let's be honest, have we had a good race at Abu Dhabi? No. I don't think we have. Like, for pure racing? No. We had the drama of 2021. That wasn't due to racing, though. That was like manipulated and false drama. Then we've had, like, when Rosberg won it, obviously Lewis was trying to back Rosberg up, but then nothing happened. Vettel winning. But I mean, for pure racing, and like, it just hasn't provided anything. It's there for the money. Whereas Interlagos, just for racing drama, has been great. I don't know what the weather's like for tomorrow. I know that it's supposed to be dry today. So George Russell's actually out of the car. I don't know why they're not updating us on when the session's going to restart. I genuinely haven't seen any TV pictures of repairs to the barrier there. So I thought it was only Tech Pro. Normally they at least show us to give a hint of like, okay, it looks like it's being repaired or not. Oh. So, interestingly, Sainz set the fastest lap there. Norris set the fastest lap on the same set of medium tyres. Set his fastest lap on the same set of medium tyres. Lewis third. I mean, look at the split between the top five, right? So, Russell's 1.8 tenths, so just under 2 tenths from the top four. But the top four are separated by less than 1 tenth. Brilliant. Brilliant to see. Hey, Brendan. What's up? I see Alpine is doing Alpine things again. Yeah. I showed images of lap-by-lap feed and it's still in progress being repaired, so still some time to wait. Okay, fair enough. How many people at the track but not watching the racing? So many people wish they could go watch and you took a ticket to buy over the price piece and watching TikTok. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the new... I mean, if you're talking about influencers and stuff, that's the new form of marketing. The new form of marketing is bringing influencers, because you have to think, like, if someone's got 1 million viewers and their Instagram stories get over 100,000 views, or they get Instagram reels or like TikTok views of like over 500,000 and stuff, like this is people who would never probably see F1 are now seeing, but their favorite influencer or whoever it is that they follow are at the events, and they get behind the scenes, they get like, it's an advert for F1, and it's the new form of marketing compared to general TV coverage, which probably pays just as much or want just as much in regards to advertisement, whereas they actually don't get actually as many eyes on it as they would do. So there we go, guys. We have a restart time of 11:40. So that's 22. So 5 minutes. 5 minutes, guys. But do we really want them? No, probably not. But then it's also like a gatekeep. It's only because we're jealous. Like, I'm jealous that I'm not an F1 race. What I don't mind, I mean, you at least want them to, like, take a bit of intrigue. I mean, come on. Take at least, even if you're feigning interest, take a little bit of intrigue in regards to the racing. Like, I don't particularly like cricket. However, if I was invited to a cricket event, I would go and watch the sport. I think there's nothing better than like live sport and the event in itself, and to take that in and take that atmosphere in and take in the event. It's when you see people are just like not paying attention whatsoever, and you're just like, really, why are you there? Will Alonso be able to continue? I think so. It looked like there wasn't enough damage on the car. I mean, it depends. I think they were working on the car, so we'll see. Depends how much damage he's got. But Sketchpad, thank you for the sub, buddy. Much appreciated. And anyone else who has subbed in the meantime and it hasn't shown up as alert, much appreciated. We are on 33 likes, guys. If we could get that to 50 before the session restarts, that'd be much appreciated. Over 70 of you in here at the moment. Say that about curling, I dare you. Winter sports aren't really my sort of thing. So I almost feel like if I was offered to go to a certain event like that, I would turn it down because it's... I mean, it depends how much they're paying me, to be honest. But if they were like, we want you to come to this event, depends on the nature of it. If it was for networking and stuff, I'd be like, look, I appreciate it, but it's better off going to someone who's going to take more interest in the sport. So, curling is not a sport. Watch it. They'll come at you with their brooms. They'll come at you with their brooms, Mark. You have to like ice hockey. I don't watch... I can't say I've ever sat down and watched a full match, though. It's not really... We don't really get it on UK TV. And it's not really something I've ever gone out of my way to watch, Ace. But yeah, no, I do. I have seen a bit of ice hockey, mostly when it's been in the Olympics, I think. You know, you know at the Olympics, like, it's on next year, actually. When you find yourself watching sports that you would never, ever watch. Never. Like you're cheering someone on, like archery. Like, go on, you can do it. Get that bullseye. And yeah, like you'd never go out your way to watch that. Or like the canoeing or whatever it is. The canoeing, not like the actual rowing, but the one where they go down like the rapids and stuff. It's something a diabolical mix between boredom, ridicule, and insanity. 4% chance of rain and partly cloudy. Okay. Well, is that for today or tomorrow? I know it's supposed to be dry for this session, so. Whitewater canoeing, that's it, yeah. Yeah. It's really a shame we don't have ice hockey on the likes of Sky Sports like, say, NHL. Yeah. I mean, it's like basketball as well. I'd like to go to a basketball game. I don't like NFL. I don't. Like, I don't like American football, guys. I'm sorry for US people. I am, of course, British, so it's understandable. I'm not also a big fan of rugby. So, Steve, thank you. Welcome to the pit crew, buddy. Much appreciated. But I'd like to go to a match because the atmosphere looks amazing. Everyone seems to be having a good time. And who doesn't want to be involved in something like that? Hockey and biathlon. You have an ice hockey team not far from me and gone there a few times. Very cold though. Yeah, see. Yeah, I'm not all about really the cold. Oh, my pleasure, Steve. Yeah, that's what we try to do here. I try to give you guys an alternative commentary. And yeah. Also provide you guys what I've understood since I've been doing these, as the session has got underway. 10 minutes now for Sprint Shootout 2, as Max and Perez are the first to get out there. Hamilton and Russell not wasting any time either. What I've understood since I've been doing these watch-alongs since last year now is how many of you just don't really have access to F1 TV coverage. It's a paid sport across the world where I don't think anywhere across the world provides it for free, unless it's like their home race and they have a deal with the sports broadcaster. But yeah, it's expensive everywhere, and that's what I try and do with these, is provide you guys kind of that alternative service and somewhere where we can interact as F1 fans, because that's what I miss as well, is watching the F1. I just want to chat to people about it, about what happens and that, and yeah, you don't necessarily get to do that if you're by yourself. Speed skating is not too bad. Yeah, dangerous that, especially when they because they get up to some speed, don't they? They get up to like 60 miles an hour or something, like ridiculous, on a little circuit like that. Yes, basketball does it, especially when you watch like the playoffs. That's only kind of the only time it really makes it in the papers here, in the UK, is when you got the playoffs of the NBA, and you see the highlights and you see like kind of when it comes down to the end, like how tense it is, and when they make that 3-pointer or whatever, and like to change the game. No biblical weather like this today, no. Hey Tom, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Right, so here we go. Let's see what they can set lap time wise. Of course, this session, as we discovered earlier on, is the second session where medium tyres are required. Alonso's still in the pit lane, so is Danny Rick, Gasly, Bottas and Tsunoda. Verstappen, 18.5 there. Perez was very, very close to Verstappen's first sector time there. He's fastest in the second sector as well because he's the first man out there. Hamilton slightly slower than the two Red Bulls. Here goes Verstappen. Let's see what he can set. Is he going to get into the 110s? I suspect so. Oh no, 111.4. That was... Oh no, the 110s was the softs, sorry, wasn't it? My bad. My bad. It was sub 12. As Perez does very well there. Only 1.5 tenths slower than his teammate. The fastest in the last sector. How about Hamilton? Here he comes. He's not set purple anywhere. He is slightly slower than the two Red Bulls, but where is he going to go? Slots in behind Perez, half a second slower than Verstappen on the medium tyre there. How about Sainz? Sainz is starting his final lap, so Russell's on a time. Seems to be going slightly slower than his teammate. How good is his last sector? Indeed, just a touch slower. In there with an 11.9. So importantly for them, they're sub 112s. And Norris also goes in there with a sub 112 and 11.9 as well. So very tight there between Norris, Hamilton and Russell. Two Red Bulls kind of in a league of their own at the moment. As Piastri jumps in there with an 11.6. Not too bad from him. And Hülkenberg jumps in there into P4 ahead of Norris and the two Mercedes. That's intriguing. Can Magnussen do the same? Oh, he pushes the Mercedes back. So the Mercedes need to stay out there and get some more temperature into these tyres. And I'm sure they'll go quicker as kind of the session goes on. They need to do a cool down lap and then go again. Not much time, of course, only 6 minutes remaining. Still yet to see Tsunoda, Bottas, Gasly, Alonso and Ricciardo out there though. So, I mean, the thing is as well is that these guys, do they really think they're going to make it out of this session? Because your tyre allocation for the weekend has to be taken into account for tomorrow. So they might not want to go out there and use a brand new set of medium compound tyres because they want to save them for tomorrow. So that might be what we're seeing from the likes of Ricciardo. Alonso, we know, has probably got damage and might not be able to go out again. Gasly, Bottas and Tsunoda. Maybe a conscious strategy decision from them to not use or save a brand new medium for tomorrow or even the race this evening. European basketball beats NBA by so much. That's the Europeans for you though, isn't it? If you ever go to a European football match, different class, different class. Georgie has a 2-place penalty for tomorrow. Yes, as well as the Alpines. Yeah. Don't care about new fans, just don't like fake fans. Yeah. Who do I think is winning the Grand Prix? Well, Max is obviously in pole position. No pun intended there, because he literally is in pole position. But I don't know. I think it's going to be an intriguing race tomorrow. I think it's going to be close. I think it will be close. I think Mercedes are banking on that they've got better race pace than they do a single lap pace. Lewis seemed to indicate that quite heavily in the interviews after yesterday. Maybe same in the McLarens as well. Can Ferrari keep a hold of their tyres? Obviously, Leclerc starting P2. I think for the Mercedes tomorrow, it's key for them to get past the Aston Martins as quick as possible. How easy that will be, I don't know. But if they want to kind of make an opportunity of it tomorrow, they need to get past those pretty sharpish. George did indicate it's definitely going to be a 2-stop, may even be a 3-stop tomorrow. So, yeah, with more pit stops comes more unknowns. So, time for one more lap. Yeah, it does seem that way. I mean, look at the Red Bull, the Mercedes, they're very much at risk. Imagine paying for a provider and they don't even stream the sprint quality. Oh no, really? Really? Where is that? Where in the world, like literally, where in the world is that? Really? How can you not how can you not? So they must be doing the race later. What have they got on instead of the sprint shootout? Jeremiah, thank you for the sub, buddy. Okay, so Ricciardo is out, Gasly is out, and Tsunoda and Bottas as well. So, okay, they were just wanting to save that one set of brand new mediums they've got, rather than use it early on. They're streaming hockey instead. I mean, I get hockey's probably a bigger sport over in Canada. I get that, but how many? Surely they've got like more than one channel, more than one sports channel. Can't they put it on like their second or third sports channel? Oh, right, guys. Let's see what's occurring. Everyone backing up in the pit lane. Oh, on the exit of the pit lane. Funny, but Kanye in Australia shows the quality and sprints for free, just not the main race. Really? That's intriguing. I suppose that's probably a marketing ploy. Show the quality and sprints, but to see the main event, you need to pay a subscription or you need to pay for the service. Quite clever. It's enticing people into it. And I bet a lot of people do. Right, so here we go. Let's see what Verstappen can do. He was the first, an 18.498, so he's improved on the time he set earlier on. How much has he been held up in this lap, though? We'll see. Is he going to get held up by Russell there, having to let him pass? Russell obviously not wanting another penalty for impeding. So Max is slower in the middle sector, probably due to that traffic, than he was last time around. Here we go. Can he improve? We're about to find out. And he does, an 11.2. So even though he was slower in the middle sector, he was quicker in both the first and last sector. How about Bottas? Bottas jumps up to 7th, pushing those Mercedes down even further. So very slow lap times from the Mercedes, really, in the grand scheme of things, even on used tyres at that stage. Yeah, Alonso obviously has enough severe enough damage, but he has to start from 15th later on. Tsunoda, great time from him, an 11.6, pushing the Haas of Hülkenberg out. Of course, Hülkenberg now on another lap. Hamilton and Russell, once again, slow in the first sector. They can't really seem to get below that 18.6 that everyone else seems to be able to do in the first sector. However, Lewis does seem to be a lot stronger in the middle. 36.1, so putting that comparison, that's half a second quicker than Max's was, I think, or at least a couple of attempts. Let's see where Hamilton can go as Perez goes first. Ooh, good job, Perez there. Good job. Hamilton, can he get out? He can. He moves up to 4th, so a much better last two sectors there from Hamilton. Jumps him up to 4th position. Danny Ricciardo, by the way, well done in P3 at the moment. He's definitely going to be through. George Russell up to 5th. Lando Norris is currently the man at risk. Oh, as I say that, he goes to the top of the timing sheets. An 11.2, great time from him. Who else is at risk here and has already set a time? So everyone's at a set a time. That's it. That's it. So Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Bottas, and Alonso, who didn't get out to set a lap time, are out. And we have Tsunoda just creeping through there into P10. So after yesterday's qualifying session where Tsunoda and Ricciardo both went out in Q1, they are now both into technically Q3 of this sprint shootouts. Very, very good performance from them. And Danny Rick shoving it in there into P4. On merit as well, guys. On merit. Although Leclerc is on used tyres, so is Hamilton, so is Sainz. So Piastri, Russell, Sainz and Hamilton were all on used, and Leclerc were all on used tyres compared to Ricciardo, who was on brand new. But then again, Norris was on used and still went to the top of the timing sheets. I mean, I keep saying this, Hamilton and Russell, they were 2 tenths slower, 3 tenths slower than Verstappen in that first sector. They hooked that up, their first and second. They've been slow into the first sector all week. They were slow yesterday. I say all week. It's only been one day, but yeah, that's where the Mercedes is struggling at the moment. Seem to be strong in the rest of the track, but Sector 1 isn't good for him. Hey, Eden, good to see you, buddy. Lando Norris to pole. Yes, so we have one more session. Look how tight it is, though, guys. P8. So Russell to Norris is less than 3 tenths. Once again, very, very tight up there. Very tight. That could change on a dime. But Danny Ricciardo only 2 tenths slower than Norris. Of course, used his brand new mediums, but got the job done and is into this last shootout session. Hey, Kaka, good to see you, buddy. Why did Piastri pit? Because they're all in the pits at the moment. Your dodgy Wi-Fi hates my stream. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Try and reduce the resolution. Yeah, Perez seems to be a bit on form. I mean, look, there's only 9 thousandths of a second between Perez and Norris there in P1. The sprint race will be later on this evening, Mark. So 6:30 is when it starts. We'll be live just before that, 15:15, maybe on 6 o'clock. So yeah, the AT is still a truck. So that's awesome. Yeah, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. They struggled to ride a T2 curve, which is why they're so slow in Sector 1. Oh, really? I haven't really seen too much TV coverage. I spend more time looking at this now than I do the TV coverage. It's just support, really, for me to look back at replays. That's why the delay's not too bad, because I can just look at this and then go back and look at the TV coverage. So Danny Rick is looking fast again, Connor. I mean, he was on... I'm not taking anything away from him, because both of those AlphaTauris have got through to Q3. Whereas the Aston Martins haven't, the Williams and the Haases haven't, and well, the Alpines haven't either. So, yeah, a strong performance from them. They both made driver errors yesterday, I think, which is why they were out in Q1. That's what Danny Rick definitely alluded to. So he said the car's got more performance to do better today. So, obviously on fresh tyres, they've beaten the teams they needed to. Maybe... the Haases, I think the Haases have made a mistake there, not using a brand new set of tyres, because they were on 6-lap old tyres. That's definitely cost them. However, maybe they're saving that brand new set for the race later. Oh no, Yuki Tsunoda failing to follow race director's instructions, maximum delta time. Oh dear. I mean, compared to his teammate, he was a good chunk ahead. Yeah. And that's all Danny Rick has to do, isn't it? Is like comfortably beat Yuki. And outperform what that car is or has been doing. So, yeah, the Haas duo were quick. Yeah, they were. They've definitely suffered there from not using a brand new set of mediums, but they probably don't have them available, or they do and they're saving them because they've already used three brand new sets there. It looks like. There's 3 laps, and then 6 laps on this one. Oh, no, Eden. I'm sorry, buddy. Try like completely closing the app and restarting it. So they're not showing... Are they going to show the overhead shot of the Ocon Alonso incident? They're still only showing the 2 on-board laps, on-board incidents. Or onboard cameras. Lol. They've got all the Aston Martin people standing in front and around Alonso's car to block cameras from getting in. Alonso's talking now. What has he got to say? He doesn't seem like very angry. So So maybe he's like, oh, could have left a bit more room. He's not going to say that, though. So have a spare set for the race then. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, the teams have to be careful with how much they use in the sprint sessions because it does carry over to the Sunday. So, I mean, the medium tyre is definitely the tyre of choice at this circuit in the sprint. We saw that in the past. The soft tyre just falls off too quickly. I mean, the track temperature is currently 52.3 degrees Celsius. That is high. That is high. So later on, it's not going to be that hot, but it will still be hot. So the medium tyre will be the tyre of choice later. Right, so here we go. We have, well, 8 minutes this last session is. Sprint Shootout 3. They're able to use the soft compound tyre. So we're going to get a very close qualifying session here. Let's see who is going to be the cream of the crop. It will be cooler later, yeah. Yeah, but even with the nature of this circuit, the medium tyre is always best. The soft tyre just falls off too quickly. For the sprint race, anyway. Lewis proved that, obviously, a few years ago in 2021. Last year, the soft tyre fell off too quickly. It was the medium, so you always want the medium. I mean, I'd be surprised if anyone even gambles the soft. But we'll see. There is $20 million prize difference in money from last to 8th in constructors. Wow. Well, this is it. Yuki Tsunoda clearly wasn't thinking about that because in Mexico, he was on to finish like a place behind his teammate. And considering he started like last, he started from the pit lane, I think it was. So, and then he made that move on Piastri, which just completely took him out of the points. I mean, that would have been a great drive for him. And especially like from the optics perspective, everyone would have been like, oh my God, like drive of the day for Yuki Tsunoda and AlphaTauri to take it to there. Everyone was talking about Lando, but Tsunoda would have been definitely in that conversation for driver of the day. And then he did that. And it's just small-mindedness. Strolley is struggling. Yeah, well, obviously, qualifying on the soft tyres is very different to how it is on the mediums. So this is pretty much going to be a one-shot quali, guys. There isn't enough time to do 2 laps. So it is pretty much a shootout here, a one-lap shootout. So they'll probably come out with around 3 to 4 minutes left, I think. Oh, right. Not long, guys. So who do you think is going to get pole? It's very, very close. Who do you think is going to get it? Is it going to be Max again? Is it going to be Norris? Is it going to be Sergio? A little bit of a resurgence after obviously being completely down in the dumps last week. Is it going to be one of the Ferraris? Obviously, Leclerc didn't look a slouch. Or are we going to see the Mercedes finally hook up that first sector and stick it on pole? Lando? Think it's going to be Lando? So I've just been informed via Martin Brundle, because he's in my ear, you know, he's talking to me directly. They have Sainz, Piastri, and Perez don't have any brand new soft tyres. So Lando, Verstappen, Hamilton, and Russell will be able to have brand new softs. Oh, we're doing the 22-2 stuffs again. One-shot quali. Yeah, it is a one-shot quali. So they'll be coming out right now. So keep an eye out on the tyres they've got. So Piastri has 2-lap-old soft tyres, as we just said. Norris has brand new sets. So there's going to be 2 forms of... Oh, Leclerc doesn't have a brand new set either. I thought it was just Sainz. So both Ferraris don't have a brand new set. Danny Ricciardo does. We could see a shock here from both the AlphaTauris. With a brand new set of tyres, Danny Ricciardo could out-qualify those who have got only used sets available. So we're going to see almost 2 qualifying sessions in here. We're going to see Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri and Perez kind of having their own fight, really. And then we're going to see those on the brand new set. I don't know if the Mercedes have a brand new set available. We'll find out in a second. So those on the new sets are going obviously for pole position, and then those on the used sets are kind of going for their own separate pole position, which will be like 5th place, 6th place, or whatever. I think, to be perfectly honest with you. If there were no laps, then Lando pole with Ricky 4th, Perez return 5th. Why does Max win? Yeah. So the Mercedes both have brand new sets as well. Max just overtaking people in the pit lane. Wants to get a move on. So Piastri is the first man to be setting a time, and 18.538 for him. Let's see if Lando can beat it, of course, on the fresher set of softs. He doesn't. Lando is actually slower than his teammate, who is on older tyres. How about Verstappen? Verstappen an 18.4, so he nicks the fastest first sector. How about Leclerc on a set of used? Let's keep an eye on these lap times here. Leclerc goes with an 18.5. So let's see what Piastri does in the second sector. 35.9. First man in the sub 36s, but Lando beats him with a 35.6 there, of course, on the new tyres. That's really where the rear grip comes in. So let's see what Piastri can do. The first man across the line, he sets a 111.1. Lando's definitely going to beat that with the rear grip that he needs out of turn 12. And he does a 10.6. That is the difference between used and new compound tyres there. Half a second. So let's see what Verstappen can do. Verstappen only goes second. Verstappen only goes second. So provisional pole is currently to Lando Norris for the sprint race. So let's see. Can Leclerc? He is on used tyres. He's definitely not going to beat Lando. But let's see what he can do. He goes third, pushes Piastri down a spot. Perez is flying, though. He's fastest in the first sector, but he is slower than Lando. As Yuki pushes Leclerc down, currently in third. How about Danny Ricciardo? Danny Ricciardo is a bit of a slow middle sector, and he goes 5th. Yes, 5th. But Perez, this is the danger man. Can he get pole position from... Oh, he doesn't. A 10.7. So how are the Mercedes doing? They are slower. Lewis is definitely the quicker. But let's see. Does he have a good last sector? He needs to nail this. No purples anywhere. Is he able to nick that pole position from the McLaren of Lando? No, he's in P4. He cannot convert it. So the only man who can stop Norris now is George. And George has had a very good middle sector of 35.6. Did he get a good exit out of turn 12? Full throttle DRS open as he comes round to the start-finish line. Where does he end up? Only 4th, and Lando is your pole sitter for the sprint race this evening, guys. Get in there. Get in there. Well done, Lando. Well done. Good man. I have a cheeky little bet on Lando. 17-1, by the way, to win the sprint race later. Just so you know. So that's very, very good for me. But of course, lining up alongside his good friend, Max Verstappen, who couldn't beat Norris there. Very, very tight between them. Only 600 separating the two. Perez on a set of used tyres in P3. Very good result for him, actually. Very good performance. Only just over a tenth slower than Norris. And only less than a tenth slower than his teammate. Russell and Hamilton, not too great from them. Expected them to get a bit closer on a fresh set of tyres. But yeah, 10.8 and a 10.9. Yuki Tsunoda out-qualifying his teammate Danny Ricciardo there in P8. P6 compared to Danny Rick in P8. Leclerc and Sainz both on used tyres were on 7th and 9th. And then Piastri on the used set of tyres in P10. There we go, guys. There we go. The race will start this evening at 6:30 UK time. So wherever you are in the world, 6:30 UK time. Work out your time differences there. So to put that in perspective, it is just gone 3 o'clock here in the UK. So roughly 3.5 hours from now is, or just over 3 hours from now, is when the sprint race will start. I'm going to be rich. Well, I haven't put that much money on it. I think I put a £5. So it's a nice cheeky little return. But yes, there we go, guys. Lando Norris is your pole sitter. Someone other than Max Verstappen. Although Max, we know, is very quick. Hopefully Lando can hold it into T1. It is going to be a feisty sprint race. Not a lot separating these guys at the top there. Mercedes was still only 3/10 slower than P1. Of course, the Ferraris are no slouches as well. They was on used tyres there. I expect them to make pretty much short work of the AlphaTauri. I think I'm quite excited for this sprint race. Interlagos is a great racing circuit. And yeah, Norris going for his first ever form of win in F1. And of course, Verstappen just, yeah, has too many under his belt already this season. But of course, he's not going to let Lando have it easy. Sector 3 for both Mercs bad. How'd they lose 3/10? I didn't catch their Sector 3 times. They seem to have hooked up the first sector for the first time, Connor. So maybe they took too much out of their rear tyres by the time they got to turn 12. They can't. Maybe there's a balancing act there. They just can't. They either have to choose whether to take it into Sector 1 and save the tyres for the end, or vice versa. I don't know. But did Fernando crash? Yes, Fernando got crashed into by Ocon. If you check the highlights, they'll be up very quickly. F1 do not wait around, guys, so go check them out on YouTube. The highlights will be up and you'll be able to see exactly what happened in the sprint shootout. But yeah, it was a weird one. But yeah, no, there we go, guys. That is your grid for later. Let's just run through it. So we have Norris in P1, Verstappen second, Perez third, a good qualifying from him. Russell and Hamilton in 4th and 5th, Tsunoda 6th, Leclerc 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Sainz 9th, Piastri 10th. Magnussen and Hulkenberg in 2 Haas's 11th and 12th, Gasly in 13th. Alpine just seem to be really struggling of late. They're so flaky when it comes to their performances at tracks, certain tracks. One track they seem to have got it together. And then the next, they're just well off it. Bottas in 14th. Alonso 15th, obviously after his collision with Ocon. Ocon 16th. Stroll 17th. Zhou 18th. And then the 2 Williams down in 19th and 20th. Thanks for the commentary. Now for another exciting, not really important sort of race this evening. That's a very good summarisation of the sprint race, bud. But yeah, Fernando, a 42-year-old man, still just... He doesn't seem 42. Like, he seems like he's 10 years younger. And, yeah, he's hungrier than ever. That's what I mean. We saw a hungry Alonso at the start of the season. It's a shame the car's gone away from him. We haven't been able to see that Fernando fighting for those podiums, or at least those wins, which is what we so desperately want him to be. But yes, there we go, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I'm now going to go chill and recuperate these vocals for the next few hours. Check the football results come in, and then we'll be back around 6. I'm going to aim for 6, guys. I'm going to set the stream up for 6. I may be here a little bit after that. But yeah, setting it up for 6. So remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on your way out. And yeah, turn those notifications on so you're informed to remind yourself of when we are going live for the sprint race later on. So yeah, have a lovely break, guys. And I'll see you in about 3 hours. Bye.